Failure is a part of success. Failure is a part of success. And what we'll do is that's the subject that we're talking about today. But first, give me a couple of seconds to shout out to my inner circle members and also my super chatters. And you can join the inner circle by just clicking on the join button. And super chatters can click on that box down there with the dollar sign, and the money goes directly to children that are not with their parents. There we go. So, hi, Bill. Hi, Kai. How are you? Hey, Craig. Great to have Craig Jackman back. Woohoo! One of our visionaries. Hey, John, Melody. Love you. Sandy, Dustin, Chris, Shauna, Arthur, Peter, Jody, Nelda. How are you? Great to have you guys on here. And wow, we're there already. Hello, everybody. This is Robert Hollis. I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day. And today's subject is failure is a part of success. Failure is a part of success. Now, it's pretty funny because what I did funny, a lot of you are going, oh my God. But, it's just that common theme where you hear, I put in, how different ways to say, because I always heard the phrase, of course, I grew up when I was young and worked in rodeos. And so the common theme was get back on the horse. So you're out there and I'm like, 12, 13 years old or something like that. And, I'm riding these bareback horses and bulls. And it's like, hey, you get thrown off and you like just get the wind knocked out of you. And it's like, come on, get back on the horse, get back on the horse. So I looked at some other ones, and how many people have ever heard this one? Some of you can put some in the chat. Take another stab at it. So I always love taking the little slogan, right? And asking, Chat GPT or Google, where did that come from? You know what I mean? And it was like back in when there was fencing, you know what I mean? It's like you just keep taking another stab at it. And I'm going like, oh my God. And sword fighting or whatever. But the reason for this is yesterday I did a video and it's just like, we constantly in life have these ups and downs. And, I would venture to say that it'd be interesting to find a person on the planet that hasn't had a down, right? A lot of us realize this if we're ever in sports. I think that's why, not every place, but they started giving away participation trophies because the one percenters are the one percenters, or I could say the 3%ers are the 3%ers. And, some people just have this killer attitude and this confidence and faith. And so, you either whether you're in school and that you didn't get picked first or you always got picked last, then you get in relationships. And when you're in relationships, you get broken up with. I know some of you have heard me sort of giggle and laugh at this, but I've had three girlfriends in my life, and the first two in high school, they broke up with me. They couldn't see a future with me, and the second one really broke my heart, man. And it was like I'm not getting married anymore, and everyone I get close to hurts me. And my abandonment issues, and oh, woe is me if you knew, my childhood. And it's like we all make all these excuses and this learned hopelessness and this victimitis and all of this stuff just not to get hurt again. You know what I mean? Feelings are real, right? And so, some of us might still haven't found that miraculous relationship. I know I have with my incredible wife, Terry. And, you just sit there and you just go, wow, you just wonder why things happen the way they do. But when you look throughout all of life, you see this, where Toys R Us shuts down, or Lehman Brothers shut down, and all of a sudden, jobs disappear. When you really realize that failure, or what I like to say, lessons, instead of failures. Why do I say lessons instead of failure? Is because it feels better. And so, I'll tell you guys this quick story, because, when you're constantly focused and getting off, bouncing back and getting back focused on your vision and stuff like that. There's not a show that is funny. My wife and I are watching a movie, a Netflix series right now, and it's called Designated Survivor, with Kiefer Sutherland in it. And it's like, so everybody on the planet picked this guy to be the last on the president's list, right? So the amount of people that would have to die for him to be president was like 7 or 8 people. And guess what? They all died in one accident, a bombing. And it's like, all of a sudden, it's like, wow, you're elected. You're elected. And I was telling Terry, and I'm joking because but the amount of stuff that happens to this guy, like one crazy thing after another, and you just see people that just live in this, and they just, whether you're an athlete, it doesn't make a difference who you are. But I think what we do, again, like I shared in the video yesterday, is we really, really, really personalize stuff. And so it's not that it's happening and has happened to everybody. It's like we take what happens to us so personal, right? And I know people that have had, deaths in their family, or maybe, people that are really close to them. And then I hear these stories, oh my God, of someone losing a child. I mean, that's not even something that I want even close to my imagination. And then you hear people that have tried businesses and they failed. And it's like this constant thing where, we're going through the seasons again, like Jim Rohn talks about. So I want to tell you guys this quick little story, because I just love this story. But, it was like, all of a sudden, this farmer, this was back in the old days, so there's not cranes and, all these, what do they call them? First responders, right? And so this guy is looking around, and a gate was left open, and his donkey wasn't there. And so he starts searching all around for his donkey. And then he finally hears this donkey, making his noise, right? Hee-haw, hee-haw, or whatever. And it's muffled. So he starts walking toward it, and he finds out that his donkey fell down a well. And so, he's got a lantern, and he's looking down, and, the donkey's way down there. So they're like, we can't send somebody down there. And so the rest of the farmers come over and try to assist him and help him. And then all of a sudden, they just make a decision that, they pretty much got to put the donkey out of his misery. So they decide that they don't want anything else, a kid or anything else, falling down the well. So they decide to bury the donkey. And so they just keep shoveling dirt in, and all the farmers are shoveling, and, the donkey keeps making noise, and they just keep shoveling and shoveling and shoveling. And then they look down in the hole, and there's absolutely no dirt on the donkey at all. And they're like, what is going on? So one of the farmers said, I'll watch. So the other 2 farmers started, throwing dirt. And when the dirt was landing on the head and landing on the shoulders of the donkey would shake it off, and then step up on top of the dirt. And so now they're all excited. The thing that they thought was, oh my God, we're going to have to bury this donkey alive. Now they realize if they just all start shoveling, that the donkey will keep shaking the dirt off and stepping up on the dirt. And so the donkey lives. The donkey is okay. And so, it's funny because when we talk about shake it off, right? Just shake it off. You see this in sports, especially when a boxer, a mixed martial art, or any kind of fighter, they get hit and it gets all dramatic, like in the Rocky movies, right? Or the Creed movies. And then all of a sudden, Karate Kid, and it never fails where you're gonna get caught. It's just so, Jim Rohn always talks about numbers. If you're just willing to do the numbers, but there's also something called odds, right? And the odds are that if you're a winner, that sooner or later you're going to lose, right? So you look at every championship team that's ever been a championship team, and guess what? They've lost. They've had to regroup. Then all of a sudden you go through, what do they call it? You go through a slump, right? So now you can't get your mindset back, and the knockout hurt, right? The loss of a job hurts. The loss of a relationship or a death hurts. It hurts a lot. Now what? So you guys have probably heard me talk about this before, because there's always two sides, right? You find some of the most tragic things in the world, like a loss of a child. And the next thing you hear, the couple gets divorced. Then you hear that the other children that were part of the family basically felt like they were ignored or not even part of the family because one of their siblings died. And it just totally devastated and destroyed the family. They just couldn't find a way to get on the other side of it. And then you got the other people, right? That, it not only happened to them, but it pulled them closer together. And then they spent more time with the children that they had, if they had other children. And they put together some kind of fund or some kind of dedication to go out and make sure that other children don't suffer from this same kind of accident. And they make all of a sudden the death of their child a cause. And I have one that just popped in my head, and it was Megan's Law. If someone asked me to really explain that, I wouldn't know. But to think that something tragic happens to somebody, a failure, a lesson, or something like that, and then someone can turn that into a giant cause to just get better, to get refocused, get your eyes back on the mark, like scripture says, to repaint that vision and get emotionally excited about that vision again. I remember someone saying this before where it said, it's like, what do you do, after you slow down for a speed bump? So you slow down, you put your front tires over it, then you put your back tires over it, then you step back on the gas. And there is a few individuals that, just for whatever reason, their trained thinking, their trained ritual gets them to consistently each and every day what would be the word? Revisit and re-emotionally experience the awful thing that happened in their life. And I'm saying this because in business, regardless of what kind of business you're in, it's amazing to me that you can have everything going so well for you. Everything can be going so well, and then all of a sudden a law can change, or all of a sudden something comes out. And I've seen this through my entire business career. And I even seen this as a mechanic. It's like the one thing that I can guarantee every one of you is change is always happening. I can guarantee you, sometimes people say I can only guarantee death and taxes, right? But, guess what? Sometimes things change. And so if it's constantly going to be changed, then it's again the way you react to it and how long you want to stay in that funk, how long you want to, make up excuses for not getting your mojo back, right? And so, does this come with experience? Yes, it does. One of the things that I talk about all the time is I really look at my life being involved in martial arts and taekwondo and all kinds of sports, and also being involved in racing, where you go to the track and there's anywhere between 100 to maybe 200 cars in your division, and 50% of those cars are getting eliminated every round. Once you lose, that you pull up to the timing thing, they hand you your slip on how fast you went in the quarter mile, and then they take the rag and they wipe the number off your windshield. So they would put numbers on our windshield with shoe polish, white shoe polish. So when they wipe that off your window, you're done for the day. You're done for the weekend. And so it just progressively keeps going through rounds. And it's like, so, how many people are going to work on their car all winter to finally get in the first race, and the spring, and race over the summer, and just know that a majority of the time that you show up, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. Even the people that are the best of the best of the best of the best, 18-time world champion. They lose. The driver might mess up and have an accident. Drivers die. Sometimes the engineers get something wrong and a part breaks on it, or the engine builder messes up and the engine blows up. That's called DNS. Did not finish. And so, there's this certain group of people, I guess, that just don't want to deal with the ups and downs. They don't want to deal understanding I don't want to fail. I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to, what are other people going to think? I posted that today. The greatest thing you could give yourself is freedom from what others think. What other people think about you is none of your business. And so you got the Mark Cubans of the world and all these people that I admire, that they just say, listen, you just keep doing it. It's not 10,000 ways you failed. It's 10,000 ways that I figured out it didn't work. And that's a Thomas Edison phrase, from inventing the light bulb. So like Mark Cuban said, you only need one deal to work. And so he talks about all of his failures until broadcast.com went public, and then Yahoo bought it for billions of dollars. You know what I mean? He buys a sports team for like $280 million or something like that. Now it's worth billions of dollars. The Dallas Mavericks. He's won world championship. But how many people think that he's been trying to win a world championship ever since he's had the team? So no one ever takes the time to find out, when we watch someone win the gold medal in the Olympics, no one tries to take the time to think, wow, maybe there's 6 or 7 people that made it to the Olympic team. Now you take that times how many countries that are in the Olympics. See, everyone sees the bronze and the silver and the gold medal and don't realize that if you took 50 countries times 5 people, there was 250 kids that didn't get a medal. So what do we hear? We hear, well, I'm going back to work. I'm going to get back in the saddle. I'm going to take another stab at it. All the little words out there, get up, get up. You got knocked down. Come on, get up, try to get back in the game. Instead of allowing that situation, that lesson, that failure to steal your mojo, right? So we know people that are comebacks, right? There's people that come back, man, and they just get better and better, and they learn from their failures. They learn from their mistakes. But it doesn't, you can't allow it. You can't allow it to steal your joy. You can't allow it to take your spirit away. And so when it comes to investments or anything like this, I always look like the way that I service many people and help them earn income is exactly how I earn the money to take a chance and invest. And me personally, investments, I haven't won yet. I really honestly haven't had a big win when it comes to investing. Hey, Ola, thank you so much. Everybody wish Ola from Sweden. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Ola. So I should be giving you a super chat. And Bill Shoemaker, thank you as well. So I know you guys all know this, right? The only way to rebound, back bounce, is go back to your original vision. Go back to your original vision of what you want to accomplish. Vision inspires success in others now. And you want to go back and reinstill that part of you. Don't stay in the funk. Don't stay in the scared place. Don't stay in fear. Who cares if you fail, lesson. If I don't have a long enough video time, seriously, to go through all the places where I failed and learned a lesson. And even when I was really young, I believe that the company I was working for was going to make sure that they caught deregulation at the right time in California. And I moved my family to Orange County. And I put so much money into acquiring customers for the deregulation of gas and electricity. And the efforts that I put together, I got like 2.6 million customers. 2.6 million customers over like 98, 99, 2000, and part of 2001. And not one of them saved any money. Not one of them got hooked up. So if you don't save customers money and you don't get them hooked up to save their money, then there's no commissions. That was a rough one. And I remember reading and success books, and I believe this Think and Grow Rich is one of them, where it says you lose everything. You lose your everything, 2 or 3 times before you keep it. And I know virtually everyone that hears that or says that go, no way, man. Just give me 1 million, or just give me, if I won the lottery one time, I'm going to be financially successful forever. That it doesn't work that way. So the one thing that you guys are consistently going to find, if you listen to interviews like I talked about, Heart to Heart, or any interviews of any successful person, you will hear that they had these failures, these things that they thought would work that didn't work. And then we get to hear, I miss this guy, man. Nowadays, because of this, we probably could find it. But the rest of the story, you know what I mean? Paul Harvey, good day, and he always had these incredible inspirational stories that he would tell about these rags to riches story, or these people that, thought they had it figured out and then they didn't. And so the more you get to hear people's stories and get to hear their whole life stories or their biography or their interview, you get to see the common theme of, I thought I pulled it off and then I lost it. I thought I pulled it off and then I lost it. And then you got the people that pulled it off and they won. But then you also have the people that the very things that took them down took them out. It's like, I'm done. I tried. I'm just going to live a life of mediocrity. I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to give up. I'm going to give up on the thought of being happy. I'm going to give up on the thought of having close relationships. Even with my creator, I'm going to, give up the concept of, being fulfilled and happy. And I'm just not going to. You know what I mean? So I brought this out because I know that people consistently will get involved in things, and then all of a sudden the market changes. Again, you can find people that are incredible. You catch them at the right time in the right place, and then they have this momentum, and then all of a sudden they disappear and they ghost you. And so we have this constant changing of friends and business and coworkers, and yeah, it is a part of life, and so it's how you react. It's how you react and how fast you bounce back and how fast you go, huh? I'm gonna give it up, and I'm gonna. Some people say, I'm gonna let go and let God. You know what I mean? That's another way of saying it. So, don't stay in the mud very long. You know what I mean? It's like get out of the tracks, get out of the mud, and start finding something that you can emotionally be excited about. Start dreaming, having that daydream. So I love and appreciate each and every one of you. This is not always how I've dealt with things that haven't gone right. And then I become very, very, recently, the reason I've been doing these videos is, Josh Wagle put together this gold bot, right? And so, Terry and I put 25 or $3,100 in there. We made 9%. And then all of a sudden, we decided, wow, we're going to put 27,000 in there. So now we had 30,000. And who knows still to this day what actually happened. But yesterday it had a little bit of a meltdown. And I think we lost like $24,000 of our 30,000. Look at this. I'm laughing. Is that the only time that I've lost that? No. But for some of you that are Inner Circle members, and I'll definitely talk about this in Inner Circle on Thursday, is, I use a theoretical example. I always use a theoretical example that if this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens, right? So, if the bot was working perfectly and you put $2,500 in, and for 36 months, that's 3 years. And then you just calculate that out. It's like all of a sudden you made 1.7 million in compound, right? So what do you think happened when I lost 80% of my money? Well, the $6,900 that I have left, I put it in that same damn calculator for 36 months, and the same amount of growth I put in there that, I made 10% on my money. So I put 10% on there, and guess what? I will have my $30,000 back in a year and a half. So, I either can just give up or I can go, things happen. See, that I'm glad I'm still talking here, because when things awful happen to our life, why do people feel the need to have to blame somebody for it? See, somebody's at fault. So I got to blame somebody, and I got to be upset at somebody, and I got to be mad at somebody. I got to take this out on somebody. And you guys already know that my ability is immediately go back to gratitude and appreciation. So I think of Josh Wagle, and I'm going like, okay, so this guy made me $4.5 million. He's helped me generate an income with 20,000 active people. They help people all over the world. And so he tests something for months and months and months. There was this guy, Swede Anderson from Canada, that reached out to me, and he invested in the bot. And he said, you know what? He said, man, my wife and I invested in these coffee machines, and we knew they worked, and we, tried them for months. And the first time that we took them to a business, they failed. And then we went there and fixed it and it failed again. We went there and fixed it and failed again. And he's going like, it's weird that something can be working so well for such a long time. And then who knows why? See, if you were talking to Jim Rowan, if he was here today, I love you, Jim. And I said to him, hey, listen, why did this happen? He would say, if I were you, I wouldn't take that class. See, it'd be like all the people that have won in the bull market, with their 401ks and their retirement program. They won for 10 plus years. Why did the pandemic have to come out? Why did this have to happen? Why did that have to happen? You know what I mean? Why did the stock market have to fall? Why did Bitcoin? Why did that have to go from 63,000 down to 30? Why? And it's like, hey, when people are making money and everything's going great, they're happy. They're really, really happy. Oh my God, look I made more money. Oh my God, look I made more money. Look I made more money. Then all of a sudden something happens and it's like, now I need to blame somebody. Right? So I love and appreciate you. I believe in you. And please do me a huge personal favor and share this video with others. And we're going to do a podcast with Craig Jackman, one of our visionaries back. So we're going to, follow up on this same subject today in the podcast. So I believe that's at 2. I don't remember. Yeah, it's in a half hour. It's in a half hour. So I love and appreciate you guys. If no one's giving you permission to be happy and successful in life, let me be the person to do that for you, because my mentors taught me to win. And I knew that I wasn't going to win every day. I just knew that every time people find me and see where I've gone from, 1 year to the next year and 1 year to a next year, it's like I'm constantly doing more, making a bigger impact than I had before, helping more people, helping, more children. And, I just know that the ups and downs are just part of life. So like, again, one of my mentors, Jim Rowan, would say, wow, that's interesting. I don't know. We were making money like crazy. And then all of a sudden, something fell out and we almost lost all our money. And it's like, well, damn it, I'm never going to risk anymore, and I'm never going to take another chance again. And I'm done. I'm going to go back and be a mechanic. No. So see you guys on the podcast if you can make it. Take care. God bless again. Thank you so much, Ola and Bill, for being super chatters. I love and appreciate you. Bye for now. See you soon.